Welcome to our 5-on-5. Pleased to be joined by Central Point man Charlie Sanders. Charlie, good to see you. Thanks for being here today.
Good to see you. Thank you.
In case you don't know, Charlie, I'm just going to call you Mr. Perfect for the rest of this interview because 3 perfect games, 300s in the span of 5 days in January, bowling, to be clear, before I go on any further. How were you able to do this?
Just a lot of practice and luck came into factor majorly. It's not something that comes very easily, but when you're on a run, you're on a run. It just kind of happens. So 3 times in 5 days you bowled a perfect game. It's incredible. Like, you've been bowling your whole life. Yes.
I think you said 20 years. You're 23, so I'd say that's your whole life. What were you feeling in the moment? I mean, you were in just a rhythm that you can't describe?
For the most part, it was always just pre-shot routine, get up on the approach, and just go. There's always that feel of nerves. I mean, once you get past 9, there's just an immediate drop of, is this actually going to happen? And if it does, you can't be anything but ecstatic. It's amazing.
And what kind of bowler are you? I mean, you're an amateur bowler. You have dreams of going pro, but you compete against a lot of people here locally in a couple different leagues. I think you said in a couple different cities.
Yep.
So bowling's something it's a passion for you.
It's definitely a passion. It's almost I'm kind of, I guess you would say, a perfectionist with it. If it's not perfect, then what really am I going to be doing? I always want to improve, and there's no reason that I'm not going to push myself to improve more.
So it's when in January did you bowl your 3 perfect games?
I believe it was the 14th through the 19th.
Okay, so it's been pretty much exactly a month.
Yep.
So you bowl a lot, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So if you're going bowling tonight and you're forced to pick up a spare, in one of those first few frames, what's going through your mind? Are you beating yourself up? I mean, because you say you're a perfectionist, you've reached perfection. It is not easy to average perfection.
It really isn't, and when it goes through my mind, it's, for the most part, it's just clean the frames up. If you can throw a clean set, that's almost as good as throwing a 300. You shoot a high 700 series or something, and it's a good night. I mean, you can't take anything away from it.
Yeah, when we were talking about kind of your focus when you're bowling, it sounds like you bowl in games of 3s.
Yeah.
You were referenced
Yep.
700. So you had a couple perfect games, but you never hit 800 out of 3 games. Obviously, 900 would be perfect.
Yeah, I've never hit 800. I've come close a couple times, but it's one of the hardest things to do because you have to have luck for all 3 games, and you just have to have, I guess, consistency more than anything.
Okay, all right. Well, that's incredible. So should I be putting spin on my ball? Is that why I haven't thrown a perfect game? I'm just that straight guy who tries to come at that angle? Is that where I go wrong? There's a lot of places I go wrong. But
Everybody's got their own style. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing a straight shot. There's nothing wrong with hooking a ball. It's just finding out what works best for you. Every bowling style has to have some sort of core to it, but once you get that part, it's just do what you can do. Do it the best way you can.
And practice makes perfect. You
Yep.
would know, right? Okay. We're going to take a quick break. Much more with Charlie in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5-on-5. I'm calling him Mr. Perfect, Charlie Sanders. 3 perfect games bowling in the month of January in the span of 5 days, no less, as if that needs to give it some kind of extra incentive to make that awesome. So you are bowling pretty much full time. Your dream is to go pro, and
Yes.
it is in effect your job right now.
Yeah.
How are you trying to accomplish that?
Practice. Practice makes perfect, and it's just the more time I can get on the lanes, the better. I mean, I can sometimes go down and shoot spares for 3 hours and not basically do anything else. Just one ball on the lane, corner to corner, just over and over again.
And there's a tournament next month in Grants Pass. We
Yep.
talked about during the break. We were talking about how you qualify for the PBA Tour.
Yep.
There's only few options. I guess Grants Pass next month is one of those.
Yep. It's the regional there is always a good event. K-Band Bowl always puts on a good event, and it's one of the better tournaments for me to bowl because it lets me get kind of into an entry-level position trying to join the PBA. If I can perform well there, then it just makes it so much easier to try to go out and actually bowl in the PBA.
Okay. Well, it's awesome what you've done this year. 2019 off to a very good start, obviously. Congratulations on that. Great to meet you. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back.